In this video, we're going to show you how to reinstall your front sight assembly on a 98 Custom. Now this will be the same for Model 98s, 98 Custom Pros, Alpha Blacks, and Project Salvos. We're first going to do some basic parts identification. This is your front sight pin, your front sight spring, and your front sight. I'll first go over the front sight pin. You can kind of see that there's a difference between your front sight pin and your regular receiver pin. Now you don't want to get these mixed up because if you were to get your longer pin, your receiver pin in the front sight area, you run the risk of punching a hole through the right hand side of your receiver. So you always want to make sure that you get the shorter pin, your front sight pin, in the correct spot. Then from there you have your front sight spring, and you can kind of see it's horseshoe shaped, and one of the legs is actually bent upward. So we'll go ahead and put our front sight spring in, and you can kind of see how I'm putting the curved part closest to the pin. And then you have your one leg that's bent upward towards the top side of the receiver. Now from there you have your front sight. The larger hole, that's going to be where the pin goes through, your front sight pin, and then the smaller hole is where the leg of the spring that's bent upward will actually pass through that smaller hole. And I just kind of lay it there. I'll kind of scoot this up for you. Now you can see that there's a little ledge that's kind of hanging over there for the receiver, and you're just going to take your front sight and kind of get it underneath that ledge, and I usually just hold it there. And then with your other free hand you can take your receiver half and go ahead and reinstall your receiver half, and then tighten down all your receiver screws. I'll do that real quick. And then you can go ahead and check the front sight just to make sure it's working. And it'll spring back up after you let go. Now, just a real quick tip, just to prevent that spring from popping out, next time you disassemble your marker, you can always put your feed elbow back on. And that'll prevent it from coming loose next time you disassemble your marker. And that is how you reinstall your front sight assembly.